Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Hey, welcome in Sports, Wheels, and Reels. I am Austin. He is Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Episode 21.
Now I wasn't sure. I've kind of lost track. I think it's 21. We're either 20 or 21. I thought we hit 20. Then we had a vacation of sorts last week, and now we be back. So, but anyway, exciting stuff and non-exciting stuff, but still.
No, it's all exciting. It's all exciting.
I guess what connotation of exciting?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Don't get excited. Yay, it's exciting.
Breaking news. No.
Any moment now, yeah.
You never know.
The Jazz are moving to Vegas.
In a week. Hey, Jesus Christ, man.
My mom listens to this. All right. But you'll see.
Always the pessimist.
I think that would be a good
Coming
thing.
up on sports.
That'd be a great thing. Yeah, all right. Sports is fun today. We got lots of rumors and reports, and someone thinks he's important on Twitter and said some things that apparently everyone thought was great or not. We'll talk about that. The Utes, the Cougars, the Aggies. What's up with conference realignment in college football? In Wheels.
New Outback?
The new Outback is available.
Started orders yesterday.
So fun. We'll talk about the details of that. Also a good event this weekend. And a Subaru jumping a bridge. Stay tuned for all that. And Reels. Saw a good fun movie at home.
Yeah.
That's out on Netflix. Talk about that and more.
Let's talk about.
That's up on Sports, Wheels, and Reels after this.
I'm Spencer Kofed, and my Subaru is Extreme Adventure. Outback's really great for my lifestyle. It has just enough space for all my gear, but it's not crazy big of a footprint. If any of my friends were looking to buy a Subaru, I'd recommend Mark Miller Subaru, so you never feel like they're hiding stuff from you. Whether it's skiing, skydiving, mountain bikes, surfing, my Subaru gets me out on my adventures. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the Utah retailer that I love.
Sports. Okay, so put up our picture.
The
Utah Jazz.
And then our picture we do every week. But one of them's gone.
Oh yeah, we gotta gray out his silhouette.
Poor Rudy.
Well, is he poor Rudy, or did he get off the boat with the last life raft?
No, I'm with you. So I'm with you on the idea. So
that he got off the boat with the last life raft.
The Jazz management obviously made the decision that this team can't go all the way.
Yeah.
And if you got this team that can't go all the way, you have to make a change to try and get to that next championship window, as Danny Ainge and Zanuck said in their press conference. You got to create championship windows. Whether you win that championship in that window, there's some luck involved. You never know what's going to happen. This window didn't work.
Yeah.
So they've got to move on. And the problem is as much as you want to keep Rudy Gobert, and I wish they would have kept Rudy Gobert, if you keep Rudy here, get rid of Donovan, and try and rebuild around Rudy, the odds of opening that next championship window go down dramatically because Rudy's going to win you 40 games every year. You're going to get to the edge of the playoffs. You're going to be a 7-8 seed maybe, right? Get into the play-in game. But that doesn't do you any good if you can't get that next star or you can't get those picks to get it. So I get that, which is really sad because Rudy wanted to be here.
Yeah.
The rumors are on it, and I got this from other places because I know where Rudy lives, that Rudy's not selling his house. Rudy wants to come back and retire here.
Yeah.
Like, Rudy likes it here that much that he's not going to sell his house. Like, that's pretty crazy. But you can't rebuild around a 30-year-old big man making $40 million a year that can't score. That can't make his own shot.
Sure.
He can score. He's one of the best offensive players ever if you look at the stats. But he can't make his own shot. He relies on other people. So you can't build around that.
Got it.
If he was 26, then maybe it's a different story. 30's different.
29, almost 30?
He's 30.
Okay, 30 now. Yeah.
So that's a big difference. So now we talk about your tweet.
Well, so look, it's been this thread that I sent out. I just have had these thoughts and tried to compile them for the last 2, almost 3 years now. And I did not think, I thought there'd be a few ruffles here and there that people would, but it went viral.
It blew up. Look at that. They got like 97 retweets.
God, I had to turn my phone off.
He had to call security. He's got people walking him home at night now.
No man, I got a couple messages that a lesser experienced person on Twitter may have freaked out over. But look, the idea is that Donovan Mitchell has always been a good person in front of the cameras, in front of microphones. I don't think that's disingenuous in front of the cameras and microphones. I do think that there has been, and should be, is how you do it, some PR makeup put on Donovan Mitchell to make him out to be a near perfect citizen, and he's not, and I don't mean that as a dig. No one is. I'm not.
He's just a regular 20-year-old
Yes.
millionaire NBA athlete. And
Yes.
he wants to go where the light shines on him the brightest.
And on the court, he has decided, whether it was he initially and then his camp, or his camp and then him, but all the way even to his close family members who promised to keep him in check, he has decided that he is better. And this is from the thread. This is a quote from someone who was close to the former coaching staff. He is better. He thinks he's better than he is, and he should be better than he is. Mm-hmm. And that's, I'm paraphrasing, so I shouldn't say
The Jazz are holding him back.
And that he needs somewhere better, and he has thought that for the better part of 3 years.
And I like what you put at the end of it. Have his Darren Williams moments where there's a lot of guys that have left the Jazz and figured out they had it pretty good. And they realized that things were pretty good and they shouldn't have gone. But it's the business these days. You don't get those guys. It's such a rare thing these days to have that guy stay with one team for his entire career.
Well, and the thing I
Damian Lillard will be on Portland forever because no one in the right mind is going to take $120 million over 2 years for a 33-year-old point guard. That's what he just re-signed for. Did you see that?
I probably would have.
You pay Damian Lillard $62 million a year?
I think I would have.
Right now?
I think I would have.
Wow. Crazy.
With Gobert?
Oof.
Yes, I would have. But
Man.
but anyway, Donovan, it's been a long time coming, and he's kept it under wraps. He quote unquote, demanded or requested that the Jazz deal him.
And I don't think if the Jazz
3 years ago,
if
Jeff.
the Jazz don't deal him this summer, I think he comes back and he still plays. He still plays hard. He'll still have an attitude, but I don't think it's going to become a Kyrie Irving sit on the sidelines, not play scenario.
No, it won't be.
No, he'll never get to that regard. But the Jazz are going to trade him this summer. It's gone way too far down that line where he's not getting traded.
Yeah, and it may be happening right now. I would be surprised if we don't see it in the next 6 days.
What do you think of this trade?
Good gravy.
So you got Don Mitchell to the Knicks. You get Fournier, Quentin Grimes, who's having a great summer league right now.
Great.
And he's a good player. And Obi Toppin, who's a great player.
He's got the wing. You got the wings there that you need.
And five draft picks. And they're the Knicks, so those 2025 draft picks are probably going to be pretty good because the Knicks always screw up.
Look, you call me pessimistic, you call me Debbie Downer. Maybe it's true, but I am of the rare fan that sees this and sighs and yawns and goes, "What? Who cares?" Those are wishes and hopes.
You've already said Donovan's gone.
Yep.
So what are you going to get for him?
Should have done it 2 years ago.
But what would you got from him 2 years ago? It'd be the same kind of thing.
No, I think you could have got a player that was better than Evan Fournier, Summer League hero Quentin Grimes.
I think if you can get RJ Barrett back, but I don't think the Knicks are going to give up RJ.
Well,
but I don't think RJ would sign an extension with us either.
Well, and he's up for a payday.
Okay, but here's what you're talking about. So you're talking about what the Jazz are doing is what the Celtics did in 2013.
Yes, and it
worked.
It worked.
It absolutely did. We did what I just talked about,
yes.
Right? You want to open up a championship window. The Celtics for the last 5 years have had a championship window.
Yes.
They've gotten close. That's what the Jazz want. So they do that. 3 years from now, we open our new championship window. So you look at right now, I wrote this down. I did some research before the show.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the top 7 win shares on the Celtics last year. An NBA Finals team. What you would call a very successful basketball team.
We're calling Jason Tatum.
So Robert Williams, first-round pick, 27th pick,
Okay.
drafted by Boston. Tatum, first-round pick, 3rd pick, drafted by Boston. Brown, first-round pick, 3rd pick, drafted by Boston. Smart, first-round pick, 6th pick, drafted by Boston. Grant Williams, first-round pick, 22nd pick, drafted by Boston. Pritchard, first-round pick, 26th pick, drafted by Boston. They got all these picks from those trades they made in 2013.
Sure.
So this isn't a hope and a dream. This is how you rebuild a team when you can't get free agents.
But see,
When you can't
Boston can get free agents, so that's where I thought it was nuts that they did what they did then.
but it worked.
It did work, and then Danny Ainge decided to leave
Totally did. But
because the coach couldn't handle it anymore.
yeah, but
And he
that team,
Felt the fire.
that team that is Danny Ainge's team. No one can argue the fact that Danny Ainge built that team.
Danny and Austin Ainge built that team. That's absolutely
Without
true.
question.
Yep.
And right now, if you could do a pick like this and you could knock out, and New York is just cocky enough to think, just like Brooklyn did, that we're never going to be bad. So these draft picks are never going to be worth anything. And then guess what? All of a sudden, 2 of those draft picks became the number 3 picks.
Yeah, I'm not saying they won't work out into being someone, but right now I see Donovan and Rudy, and what the Jazz get back for them is wishes and hopes
But that's
instead of a name player that can win now.
But right now, you get one name player that can win now. It's not going to do you any good.
Except you win now,
You
And then you're
win
exciting.
40-something games.
and you get talked about, and people are interested.
I'll tell you right now, I liked the Ricky Rubio, Donovan rookie Jazz team
Oh,
a
yeah.
hell of a lot more than I liked watching the team last year.
That's true. Yeah.
Even though the team last year was a better basketball team.
Yeah. On paper, yep. hmm
But the idea is I want you to build a team back up with a core of guys that really want to play together and really want to show effort and play. Like, it was like God said during the playoffs, the one game where Bogey put his heart and soul on the line because we hadn't seen it.
That's true.
Right? The reason
Yeah.
it was such a crazy thing when Bogey all of a sudden put out his entire life for a game and played as hard as I think I've ever seen any NBA player play in one game was because we hadn't seen anything close to it all
We
year.
were worried
Short
about
of-
his heart rate. Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought he was going to die. But short of Rudy, you hadn't seen that come from anybody.
Right, and so let's bring that back to Donovan. Why don't we see that from Donovan? Why have we not seen that from Donovan in
if your-
almost 3 seasons?
If your heart isn't 100% in to a deal, you're not going to give that kind of heart and effort.
Which is why I was surprised that my tweet thread got as many shares as it did, because this, I thought, was obvious to people that Donovan Mitchell gave up on this team being a championship team 3 years ago. Flat gave up.
I don't know.
Would not work with Rudy, would not work with Quinn, would not work with the athletic staff, the training staff, got Dennis Lindsey fired. This was 3 years ago, and everyone just kind of went, ho-hum, he's our all-star, let's build around him. And they should have 3 years ago started over at his position.
And it's hard to do that, though, because
Especially when you gave Mike Conley what you gave Mike Conley last year.
The mistake the Jazz made was Conley. And I like Conley, and I think he's a good player, but I don't think he fit into what we're doing. I don't think he was big enough.
Yeah.
I think the Jazz would have had a better chance of becoming a championship team if they'd hung on to Rubio. As much as Rubio couldn't shoot,
Yeah.
Rubio had the height and the size. I mean, Rubio's 6'5".
And he was never not giving effort.
And he was the heart and soul of that team. And they traded that away, and I think that was where Donovan started moving away from wanting to be a Jazz guy.
Huh. Could
But
be.
I wish we would have kept Rubio. And not only was he a good player and great in the locker room and the heart and soul of the team, he's an incredible human being.
Rubio? Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Like,
Yep.
we did some events with Rubio back in the day, and he is literally one of the greatest athletes I've ever met.
Tell that story again where he was hanging around.
Yeah, we did an event with him where we had, back in the day, they don't do it anymore, where we had signing events and stuff. With COVID, they kind of moved away from that. But you'd have them out, you get the player, they'll go wherever you want, they'll sign autographs for an hour, and then they leave. We've done it we did it with Derek Favors, and Derek Favors was pretty cool about it. Rudy was good about it, but the players, it's their obligation.
Didn't you have Raja Bell way back when?
Oh, Roger Bell would just come and hang out with us. Roger
Yeah.
Bell was amazing. I love Roger Bell. Jazz fans have a love-hate relationship with Roger Bell. I love Roger Bell.
I do too.
Roger Bell was amazing. We had him in a car. Roger drove on the
That's
set
right.
for 2 years.
That's right.
Nah, Roger was cool. Father used to just sit in my office for like hours, and we would just
Really?
do what we're doing right
Just
now.
shoot the breeze?
Oh, just talk. He would talk
But
so
Rubio
much
stayed-
trash on some of his teammates. It was amazing.
No, not Raja. He wouldn't talk.
Oh yeah.
But Rubio stayed after.
Al Jefferson. Oh my gosh, how much he would talk about Al Jefferson. But let's get away from that.
God, those were dark days. Get ready for more of those.
Yeah, but that team. So what Rubio did was we had Rubio, and what we decided to do is we did our autograph event at Volunteers of America.
Cool.
And so the idea is, we'll go there, we'll do the autograph there, the kids will get to meet him, like that. They'll have basketball hooping and shoot a few hoops. Rubio stayed for like 2 hours after. Not on his dime, not getting paid, not anything, and just hung out with the kids.
Because it was the right thing to do.
Just felt right. Just like kids were having fun. They'd create a cool moment for him. He didn't have anything else to do, so he stayed and played with them. And it was just who he you don't get that with a lot of guys.
Rudy is that way in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
And Donovan.
Rudy did that with us too. Rudy he stuck around. We had a basketball hoop outside. He was out shooting with all of our employees, and this was like after his like second or third year. And he's out there draining 3-pointers. It's like, where is this?
I still think he had a trailer 3 game that the Jazz never tapped into.
I still think he can shoot the 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're going to see it in Minnesota because
Oh yeah.
they're going to put him into the cat role and let him shoot a little bit.
And to end this, Donovan is a good person.
He's a great person.
Please don't get
Donovan
that wrong.
is a very good person.
And he does a lot of good. He was just giving out a whole bunch of school supplies again, like he does every year.
Donovan's amazing. Like, Donovan's a great guy. He's just the time is past in Utah.
I think it has.
And when he comes back to the court, I'll cheer just as loud for him as I did when he was on the court for the Jazz.
And I'll tell you, and
And anybody who boos at him, I will.
Oh, that's terrible.
I will yell at them.
You don't need to be booing
No.
Donovan Mitchell. I was of the opinion, as much as, and I was about to say this, at least he didn't Gordon Hayward the Jazz.
Totally.
I was of the opinion maybe he shouldn't have even been booing Gordon Hayward but that's a little bit. But Donovan Mitchell,
Gordon did a pretty good job screwing the Jazz.
he did.
Like Donovan Mitchell, at least he's not.
Danny Ainge had a part in that.
Yeah, but Donovan Mitchell, he's not out there requesting a trade. His
Not
people
publicly.
his people are doing behind the scenes, so
Yeah.
he keeps it quiet.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing it. He's doing it the right way.
The Jazz should know where he is.
What
and
Gordon
the Jazz
Hayward
not
did is
know
Gordon
where he
Hayward knew
Yeah.
months before he was leaving the Jazz and
Years,
left it
yeah.
past the draft, past free agent deadline time, 2 days into it, so the Jazz couldn't get anybody, and then announced.
announced, then said, no, I didn't announce, then announced again.
Left the hope open that the Jazz were going to keep him, so they couldn't sign anybody.
Yeah.
Like, he did a pretty good job screwing the Jazz for a year or two.
And along those lines, someone did ask me in a private message why I wasn't talking about these things in this tweet thread on the air when I was on the air on radio here, which, by the way, is not fair. I did talk about it, but Gordon Hayward was leaving the Jazz a year and a half before he did. Someone came on the radio and said, not just someone, a really good reporter, came on the air and said he was leaving, and the Jazz management shut that down and actually got that show's producer in a little bit of trouble for booking that guest. So there's a little bit of, and I don't mean this as shade towards anyone that's over there, they do a really good job of telling you the truth while softening the edges a little so that their employer is still happy.
Yeah, without question.
So, all right, let's talk college football.
Actually, I put a question mark next to the Pac-12 RIP. Like,
Yeah, maybe. Because now,
maybe
2
it's
weeks
not that.
later,
Maybe it's just the Pac-10. I need to draw a little circle over this.
the report is that the 10 remaining teams are staying together, and they're of one mind and one heart and one spirit and blah, 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 blah. Should that be what they do, Jeff Miller?
It's all for talk. We're in the middle of a 30-day negotiation window for a TV contract. You don't think they're all saying that? They're all saying kumbaya, everything's great, and then they're going to see what the TV number is. If it's big enough, they're going to stay together. If it's not big enough, see ya.
Oregon and Washington.
Hello, Big 12. Hello, Big 10. We're all out of here.
They've already all got their spots.
No, they already have it ready to go. At the end of the 30 days, they're going to look at a number and say yes or no. That's my opinion.
And that 30 days butts up.
Right to
That's
Media
almost
Day.
over, isn't it?
I think they've got like 2 weeks left.
Yeah, and I can't remember when Pac-12 Media Day is. It's usually in July.
It's at the end of July.
Last
like
week
the
of July?
28th or 29th.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, it's around Pioneer Day every year. That's
you're
right.
going to find out pretty quick.
So we'll see. And BYU in the Big 12, I think that they're okay. The Big 12 can be really good, or they can be what they are. We'll see what changes.
So I
there.
talked to one of our really good customers here, and a lot of Utah fans will know her, the crazy lady.
Yeah, I like
She
that
comes
girl.
in here all the time, Terry Jackson, and she's literally, I think her family has like 6 of our Subarus.
She's in here like every other day.
She likes us so much that she like volunteers for all of her family members to come do their oil changes.
Oh, is that why I see her a
That's why
lot?
she's here. So she's here with like a different family member's car once a week. That's why you see her so much.
She's a happy person.
And I was talking to her about it, and she's like, "Do you know what her saddest thing about if the Utes got into the Big 12 was?
What was that?
It's harder for them to travel to games
Because
she travels to most of the Pac-12 games, and they're able to take their RV and go around the West. And if they all of a sudden are playing in Florida now and
West Virginia
and all these places, they can't do that anymore. Isn't that? It's just a thought you never really have. That it's harder for you to travel to away games.
But it's better for the almighty dollar.
Yeah, which is the most
Which
important
is what
thing.
decides everything. This is no longer academic-based sports.
No.
College
It's
sports
about the
is
business.
Yeah. So forget that and let the chips fall where they may. I believe that the Pac-12 will be dismembering. Oof.
Oh, that sounds rough.
That was a little biblical.
It's like Stranger Things.
Uh,
By the way, I started watching that a couple weeks ago.
They're
I've
gonna
never
be
seen it before. You've
cutting
seen
off
Stranger-
stuff.
We'll talk about that in Reels.
I don't like Stranger Things.
Did you watch the whole thing?
No, of course not. I don't like
You're all
scary,
like Game of
spooky.
Thrones. Like you're weird.
Nope,
You're all sorts of weird.
Give me comedy
I
and
can't
cartoons.
believe we let you run a movie show. All right, to the next one.
Okay. Coming up next on Wheels, Subaru news, Love Promise Partner of the Week, and someone jumped a bridge a la Sandy Bullock in Speed.
Nice.
It wasn't that dramatic, but we'll see video of it next here on Sports Wheels and Reels.
My name is Sierra Hudson. My Subaru is safety for my family. So this past winter, we hit a black ice and we just started to slide. And it was just one of those moments where you truly feel helpless. I know it's a car, but it means so much more to us and our family. Subaru is one of the safest brands, and I've personally lived that. Subaru is a brand you can trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that you will love.
Rolling. Keep this show rolling onto wheels, Jeff
Wheels.
Miller. Great news. It's the long-anticipated arrival.
2023 Outback.
That is a Onyx edition.
It's the big minor change.
The big minor change. The 23
I think
Outback.
that's what Subaru calls it. So like the midlife adjustment on the car. It's like the midlife crisis on each model. It's called the BMC, the big model, the big minor change.
They grow a goatee.
And that's the go goatee. They get a little excited.
little handlebar mustache.
Ready to
going.
go hit the bars. Recently divorced or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Onyx now will have a non-turbo line. So you have an Onyx and Onyx XT.
The biggest thing, wireless CarPlay.
Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto.
Android Auto for those non-Apple people.
For those smart
Those
people.
weird people out there in the world who don't.
Never have any bugs with my Android Auto. My wife constantly has CarPlay problems, so just saying.
All right.
Looking at you,
Wireless.
Apple.
You're gonna have new the smart cam. Is going on the.
Oh yeah, like it has been in the Ascent.
Yeah. Smart rearview mirror. It's gonna be on there.
The wheel change, not that big of a deal, but the front of the, and we pointed to the
I got some
handlebar mustache look.
A little different.
There's the
views,
interior. Now the cameras,
Mention.
right there behind Jeff's head.
There's an extra camera now.
So on the
Rear camera.
Touring XT, you've got that wide view camera, but the
this-
cameras themselves are slimmer and they're right up against the windshield.
So you don't
it's
get
closed.
any dust in there
That's
anymore.
right,
and
yeah.
We used to have issues with that.
And the view under the camera is much more
Your exterior
aesthetically
shots,
pleasing.
new grill, new lights.
Excuse me. Pardon me. The shark skin on the fin on the antenna is now
Did you
on
see
all of
how,
them.
you can't really see it, but inside that shark fin, that's where the camera is for the smart camera.
That's right.
It's not in the glass like in the Ascent.
This gentleman here, he's based in Portland. I forget his name.
John Wigner.
John Wigner. He said that the engineers referred to this design as refined aggression, which I thought was good.
Sounds like the marketing guys, not the engineers.
That's what Jeff says. The marketing guy said to the engineers, you will refer to this as
refined aggression.
But the orders are wide open now. So
open.
if you've had a pre-order, it's being submitted. If you have been waiting to order, wait no longer. The 23 Outback
These are Outback. We're excited.
We're like 3-4 months from them being here on the ground.
Yeah, new Legacy as well.
Which we talked about previously. I think I'm getting a
That
Legacy.
new Legacy Sport's a good looking car.
Yeah, I think I'm getting
That new
one of
Legacy
those.
Sport's gonna be a fun car.
All right. Travis Pastrana.
I'm hoping I get to meet him next week again.
He's coming back, right?
Yeah, we're going to the National Business Conference.
Oh, you're going out there.
Usually
Okay.
he's there.
They usually do that Nitro Circus thing out here in Utah that he comes to. He has 2 places in Utah.
Look
of
at
course
this car.
he does.
Old Subaru GL.
And he is the best Subaru driver ever.
Oh, for sure.
He did something crazy for a commercial shoot, and Ashley's going to play that
Video
short
on
clip
it?
for you.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it wasn't a huge jump, but it's still jumping a
He's
bridge
in a GL.
in a GL.
Is that the original frame for
No,
that GL?
couldn't be.
It's just
Couldn't be.
or they just made it look
I
like
think
a
they
GL.
modified it to look boxy.
Really? Like those lights look like original GL lights, though.
That could, I mean, there could be part. But I don't know if the whole frame. Maybe.
Just
maybe we should look
reinforced
into
it heavily.
Look at those Yokohamas. That's a nice GL.
That's a good looking car.
But jumping bridges, something I always wanted to do as a
Coming
kid.
to the showroom. It's next now.
Do you remember that movie Speed?
I do.
And when the bus jumped the bridge and
Yeah.
it's like going like this and all of a
You
sudden
ever
it's like
actually
this?
seen that? You ever actually seen the behind the scenes of that?
Yeah, they did it on Mythbusters.
Yeah, and they show like they're like the actual behind the bus where they actually show
Oh,
the
no.
bus jumping because they actually have to jump the bus.
Okay.
But like they didn't go over the thing obviously. Like they just do it and then they get rid of the bus makes like it goes like 3 feet. It literally goes like 3 feet and then it just like crashes.
And then they had to replace the bus.
Yeah, like it doesn't go anywhere. Like if that was real life, it would have gone.
Great movie, great terrible movie. I should
Incredible
say.
movie.
Yeah. Dennis
Yeah.
Hopper's best movie in my opinion. Well, I don't know. No, I guess I can't say that. Hoosiers and what's the motorcycle movie from that just turned 50?
I know.
Anyway,
But that was fun.
our Love Promise partner of the week, Jeff.
Salt Lake Criterium. It's a new bike race. It's gone, I think it's their 2nd year, maybe 3rd year, that they're doing in downtown Salt Lake and Sugar House Park this weekend. So Saturday, downtown Salt Lake, they're doing it at Industry, which is like a bar complex area about 7th, 8th South, 6th West-ish.
Out past the west of Gateway, yeah,
Yeah.
and a
West
little south.
and south of Gateway.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So what the race is it's short track bike racing. So it's downtown, urban environments, like 2 block, 1 block, so 3 block circles, and they run laps, high speed, and then they'll do some cool stuff online. We'll have videos inside the race, so you'll be able to see them like inside the race racing. They'll have big screens at the start and finish. It might be a pretty fun race to go watch and see.
So we're not talking Tour de France type racing. We're
but it's
talking fast,
but it's professional
enthusiastic.
racers. There's like a
Yeah.
$30,000 pot on the line, something like that. But
$30,000 of pot.
But there's so Saturday downtown the Sugar House Park for
Thank
Sunday.
you.
But we're sponsoring our the Bike Collective, one of our Love Promise
Yes.
partners, is going to be there as well. We're going to do a bike valet down there.
If you have old bikes laying around, a lot of people cleaning out their garages and sheds, don't throw them in the dumpster. Don't send them to the
or anything like
DI.
that. Send them to these guys because they'll revamp them and get them out to people in need.
And there are, I think, 300 or 500 Ukrainian refugees on their way to Utah
Uh-huh.
that absolutely
We'd
need
love to have a new bike that can get them around town to
an old bike that will be made new.
get to
Yeah.
jobs and work and things
So
like
bring
that.
them down to the Salt Lake Criterium and give them to us at our tent down there on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep, it's all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So come on down.
Details at Salt Lake Criterium.
Criterium.com. Good details on that.
All right, coming up next, saw a couple movies this week and another one that's coming out today that some people like and some people don't. I am interested to hear Jeff's opinion on these. Next in Reels. We'll be right back.
My name's Jamie Usry, and my Subaru is Freedom. I've had so many animals over the years. One of the things that I love about Mark Miller Subaru is they're the largest animal welfare supporter in the Salt Lake Valley. You may not even realize it, but they're probably supporting a nonprofit that you love in the community. And my wife and I, our daughter Harper, and our dogs, we're just so happy that we picked Mark Miller Subaru. Subaru is a brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local retailer that I love.
All right.
Let's talk everyone's favorite pastime, Jeff, movies.
Movies.
Now, I have slowly come along to streaming at home.
You're a purist.
I still love going to the
He
theater.
loves that theater. He loves that popcorn.
Oh man, the seats.
Loves that soda machine.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have that stuff at my house. Some people do, but I don't.
The soda machine, you get like the mixtures of like the Coke.
So
Or are
that's
you a
funny.
purist? Do you go for straight Coke, or do you mix some cherry in there?
I have done both. You can't fail with a good Coke or a good Sprite with that
Good
popcorn.
movie. Yeah, you got the good movie. You got the fountain drink Coke.
But
It's
every
not
now
better
and
than the
then
can Coke.
they have these Minute Maid summer mixes. There was one a few years ago, sour lemon.
Wow.
It was phenomenal, but it's gone now. Just like the sour lemon Snapple
We're gonna have
back
to
in
call
the
the
day.
Megaplex and see if they can.
Yeah, come on, Larry. Come on, Jeff.
Come on.
Get us, Blake. Let's get that fixed. All right, but at home, I took in episode 1.
Of the Terminal List. I haven't seen it yet.
It's a series on Amazon.
I like Chris Pratt a lot.
Chris Pratt is
You
in
said
it.
it's not good.
It's based on a novel that's based loosely on a true Navy SEAL. I wouldn't say it's not. Yeah, I would
But
say
in all
it's not
fairness, you
good.
watched one episode.
And that's true. It's one
You
episode.
can't judge anything on one episode.
Well,
although it's the
I
pilot.
judged it
Although
enough.
it's the pilot, so they judged it well
I was
enough to
gonna
think
say.
it was good enough.
And I judged it enough that I didn't watch the rest of it.
You only watched part of the first.
No, I watched the
Oh, I
full.
was gonna say.
I didn't watch episode 2 or more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not going to.
I might sometime, but it was okay. I think the telling thing here is that the critics have hated it. The audiences have given it like a C+. And I think C+ is fair on this. Honestly, I think that's.
So it's watchable. It's just not.
I'd be interested to hear what you think after you see it.
I'll watch it before next week.
Also, last night watched at home on Netflix.
I'm excited for this one. This one, I think the kids will love this one.
My kid was a little afraid
The
of
Austins
the
will
CBs.
love this as well.
Oh yeah,
The kids at heart.
it's from the
The
director
people who don't
of.
like Game of Thrones.
That's
those,
right.
Those weird people.
That's right. The morally strong in our country. The Sea Beast is by the same people as Moana. The animation of water
And Big Hero 6.
and Big
I love
Hero
Big
6.
Hero 6.
A lot of, I think, the same writers as on Big Hero 6 too. But and yes, I love Big Hero.
I went
6
as Big
too.
Hero 6 the Halloween one.
Did you
year.
really?
I did. The full inflatable costume. That was
That's
amazing.
Baymax.
That
That's
was
cool.
Baymax. It was amazing. The whole family went. Like Natalie was one of the characters.
How would you rate your pain? Yeah. But the Sea Beast is really fun. We jumped out a window.
I love that. It's like the greatest show ever. It's like your drunk friend. Low battery.
Smashing his face on the stairs.
My son Miles, he still says that whenever he's tired. He goes, low battery.
That's great. But the Sea Beast. It's fun. It's really good, and it's cute, but it's exciting. Like it's a pirate swashbuckling adventure with a good heart feel.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. You'll like it. And then finally, out today in theaters and streaming, The Gray Man, or is it The Grayman, or is it
I
The
think
Gray Man?
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man?
To pause. But
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man.
The Grayman.
Yeah.
Like the Batman and the Spider-Man and the Superman.
That is not going to get you invited to the premiere.
But listen to the cast. You've got Ryan Gosling as a former CIA operative. I mean, the story's been done 1,000 times.
Mustached Chris Evans.
Who's chasing him, and a disavowed trainer in the CIA, Billy Bob Thornton. This is essentially the recruit.
And then Anna Domus is too. She's in as well.
Ana de Armas,
Yeah.
my favorite actress, maybe ever.
What has she been in other than
Knives Out. She was just in the Bond.
What was the movie with the two guys with the arms dealers?
War Dogs.
War Dogs. I love that movie.
You know, she did not speak English when
No.
she got that part.
She faked it, right?
Yep. And then when they changed
Learned
the
it through-
script, she couldn't act, and so she had to go learn English.
Perfect.
Yep, she's awesome. So this one, though, critics 41%, audiences 90%.
Yeah, right?
So
Audiences are generally right.
I agree. Yep. I'd go with
Whenever
the
you look
audience.
at those two things, you always look at the audience.
The critic is programmed to be negative like me. But when it comes to movies,
Although Top Gun, they both got 99s, didn't they? Or like 97s.
they should have. It's an amazing
Top
movie.
Gun's one of the best movies there. It's on your top 10.
It is for sure. Yep. It might be 10th, but it's in my top 10.
That's all that matters.
It's all that
Getting
matters.
on the list.
So there you go. There's your viewing options this week. By the way, I'd love to hear from people on social media what you're watching and what we should be watching.
Yeah, give us some ideas for some reviews, for sure.
All right, Jeff, episode 20 or 21, we'll have to count them up in the
figure it
books.
out.
Yeah. That's Jeff Miller. I'm Austin Horton. For Ashley Bell's behind the scenes.
Wait, question though.
Yeah.
Before our next show, which is, I think we're going to be good for next Friday, will Donovan be traded?
He will be.
I agree.
Book it.
I think you book it. By next
Might be
Friday,
traded before we get off the air.
By next Friday, he will be traded.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, for Jeff and Ashley, I'm Austin. Until next week, Utah by 5.
Trust me.